Hello, and welcome to Nebraska Wesleyan University Theater Podcast, the podcast made by the students, staff, and faculty of Nebraska Wesleyan's Theater Department for patrons like you. Today I'm going to be talking with Ben Arnez, who has a BFA in directing, correct?
Yeah, we'll have it at the end of the year.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hopefully.
So Ben, you're currently playing Aegeus in A Midsummer Night's Dream, right?
Yes, this is true.
Yeah. What has it been like working with Lenny and the cast?
It's really fun. I mean, Aegeus is a smaller character, but Lenny has allowed me the opportunity to understudy two very large characters in the play, that being Theseus and Oberon and Bottom. So I've been able to be at a lot of the rehearsals and just seeing the way that Lenny works, especially with her training at the Royal Shakespeare Company, I think it was.
It was.
Because she used a book. Okay. I was in her Shakespeare class, and then was cast in Midsummer, and so I've been working with Lenny on Shakespeare for at least a little bit longer than maybe...
Probably about a year now.
Yeah, probably about a year now, and Weston was also there, so Weston will also have that, but...
I was in that class a couple times, too.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I just popped in once or twice at the beginning of the semester, because I wanted to take it, but I didn't have the credit hours, so I just hung out there, because do you remember the statue assignment at the beginning of the year? We did the reading of the opening of Romeo and Juliet, I believe it was, and did the different positions.
Didn't we do that? Yeah, I guess. Was it the 8 a.m. class?
It was the 8 a.m. class.
We probably did that, yeah. I don't know. Well, yeah, we did a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
So probably.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, we did because me and Weston were just in Romeo and Juliet over the summer, and so we were like, oh, we know what we're doing. Right. Anyways, though, just seeing the way she works, and I forgot what I was going to say about the class. All right. But, yeah, you can just, okay, I remember.
Yeah.
She used a book, which was by Cecile Barry, and it was interesting because Cecile Barry is a pretty famous person in Shakespeare, like literature and voice and stuff. And Lenny was like, I actually worked with her, and so...
Really?
That was really cool. She had that lived experience along as with the, knowledge of it as well. So you could tell that Lenny really knew what she was doing, and her background in musical theater, it's added to the musicality of the play, I feel.
Yeah, and you mentioned that you've done Shakespeare in the past. You did Punk Rock R&J at Flatwater Shakespeare?
Yes, I did. That was just this summer. I'm hoping to audition for Much Ado About Nothing, which is coming up April. Well, auditions are April.
Auditions are in April.
And they're also doing Coriolanus as well.
Yeah.
So
I'm planning on auditioning for that one.
Yeah, that one's pretty intense. Yeah. You should, though. I want to do Much Ado because I worked with Parker in Romeo and Juliet, but honestly, I'd love to be a part of both of those.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've been doing Flatwater Shakespeare since I was 9 years old.
Oh, wow.
This will be some nepotism talk for you, but my grandpa started the Flatwater Shakespeare Company with his friend, or I guess colleague, friend, I don't know. I forget his name. That's not going to look good.
Hey, that's
Anyways, he's co-founded it, and so when I did my first play, which was Waiting for Godot, I did it at 9 years old with my grandpa directing it, and so I've been doing Flatwater Shakespeare for a very, very long time, doing Shakespeare for, I guess.
Is that where you started doing theater?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
At the Haymarket Theater, downtown Lincoln. They still have the sign up, but it is not a theater anymore. It's apartments.
Yeah.
So I don't know why they still have the sign up. But it looks cool. Whatever.
Yeah. Going back to Midsummer, what has been something that you've really enjoyed about the process of putting this show together? I
think just seeing how everyone adds to the characters. Midsummer is a play that's been done so many times, and the characters are kind of, they're just well-known in and of themselves. Bottom has been done so many times. Yeah. Everyone knows about the donkey, the ass head. I mean, it's hard to do something new, but I feel like we've added a lot of intentionality in this play, and there's a lot of amazing moments. Pardon me.
I can edit that out if you want.
No, keep that in.
Okay, we're keeping it in.
Keep that in. It'll be nice bass and reverb for our ASMR listeners.
Sure.
But a lot of intensity, like with the scene between the lovers where everyone wants Helena, and I mean, the intensity from Lucy as Hermia, the
Yeah.
slamming on the box and the yelling, and then just Weston as Lysander with his different, Lysanders.
Yeah.
Just the one before he's drugged, the one when he's drugged. It's so intense and so different that I think that really adds to the life of the play.
And he has an endless amount of energy at all times.
Yep. Yeah. Powerhouse.
Yeah, really is.
Uh.
So this isn't the first main stage you've done this year. What has it been like as a student here at Wesleyan doing main stage productions, and how does that kind of factor into you growing as an actor?
Yeah. Well, I'm a senior now, and I've only done main stages this year.
Really?
So yeah, I've been involved doing small tech things for shows, doing run crew or backstage stuff. But this is the first time I've acted, and I acted in Witch at the beginning of the year. Then I acted in Pemberley. Then now Midsummer. But I've been doing student directs since my freshman year. And main stages, I think, are nice because they have a focus. But student directs, you have more opportunity and liberty for creativity. A lot of ease, alliteration.
Yeah,
but I think main stage really helps you understand all the moving parts, because with student directs, you can kind of get it meshed in, where if you're a director, you're kind of doing multiple positions. If you're the one tech person, you're kind of doing multiple tech things. If you're an actor, you might also be doing something else. Main stage has more people involved, and so you have a costume designer who does that. Then you have the costume shop, and it's just more professional, which I think is what it's supposed to be. But
yeah, because my first production here was with you. It was Blue Murder at Gallows Bottom.
Right.
And that was
Paul John Matthews. Yeah.
Paul John Matthews. That was a really fun experience because you kind of just said, hey, have at it. And we just kind of explored. We didn't really have anything set out. We were just finding our way together and just kind of piecing it through. And I really enjoyed the amount of freedom you gave us because it led to some really funny bits.
Yeah.
Especially Quina with the pork rinds.
Oh, yeah.
The running gag of everyone just grabbing pork rinds that had been in Quina's waistband.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a fun show.
But yeah, I really enjoy that about the student director productions because it's really nice to have that freedom to build, and there's a ton of opportunity there to get involved.
Yes. Yeah.
I think that was what ended up being one of the fundamental factors in this choice was, hey, this is somewhere where I'm not just going to be on the shelf for a couple years until I actually get to act again. I'm going to go in and I'm going to do shows and I'm going to have fun making art with my friends.
Right. Well, in student directs, it depends on the size of the class, but you often have more opportunities through student directs than you would for main stage. Because although we do 8 main stage a year, and that takes a lot of time, we almost do either the same amount or more student directs within the same year. And so you have a lot of opportunity to not only just act or just perform or just be an assistant director or stage manager. You have the opportunity to be a director. You have the opportunity to be a leading actor if you don't get the chance to in a main stage.
And be a designer. There's
been
several things, because Alex did our costume for Blue Murder, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Alex was the tech powerhouse for Blue Murder because Alex was stage manager, lighting designer, and costume designer for Blue Murder.
Yeah.
But, I mean, going off your point, for my last student direct was Lost in Yonkers. Yeah. And I was able to work with Charlie Anderson on costumes, which was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Because in the first 2 student directs I had worked on, the tech elements came from people within the cast or the crew who were already working. So Alex, for example, was already stage manager, then just kind of did the lighting, did a lot of the tech, which was amazing, very helpful. But then having Charlie, an outside point of view, working on the play, not there every single day as Alex was, but like a new perspective, it was so much fun. And those costumes were beautiful too.
Yeah. Now, aside from just the student director productions here, you also have built an impressive resume with Wits. Do you want to talk a bit about how that got started on campus and what it's like?
Sure. It's still in the works. We're trying to figure some things out. Having a performing arts club always felt kind of antithetical because, or like it wouldn't be able to happen because those doing or majoring in the performing arts are already so busy in their majors that it's really hard to find time to do anything else. But I think the University Wits fills a place that maybe Nebraska Wesleyan didn't already have. It fills improv, it fills writing, it can fulfill many things.
And just to clarify real quick, do you want to say the acronym?
Wits?
Yeah, the full thing.
Oh, the University Wits.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Sorry.
Doesn't it? I thought it stood for...
Oh, you thought that WITS stood for something? No. So that's the confusing part. So the full name is the University Wits. And then Wits is just, that's a word in and of itself. You know, it's witty, stuff like that.
Yeah.
If you take a World Theater History class, which I know you have, but if you take World Theater History 1, I took mine with Liz, she'll talk about the original University Wits, which comprised of playwrights in Shakespeare's time, which did not involve Shakespeare, I believe. I'm going to look like a fool if I don't know this, but...
It's funny because I think we covered that like last week, and I'm just now connecting that dot.
Yeah, I have a whole PowerPoint presentation almost about it, but I can't recall off the top of my head who was involved in that, but it was just at a university, these playwrights, and the name was coined by someone later, so they didn't actually call themselves the University Wits, but I guess we are. So the point of the University Wits originally was to be more of a writing club, to be more of a place for writers to meet. But our improv troupe has been, slamming it out of the park, just working a lot and meeting each week. And that's the only part we've been able to present. We've had 2 performances on the amphitheater.
Yeah.
One most recently on World Theater Day, International Theater Day. So, yeah, the University Wits, I like to think of it, if I'm going to explain it, I like to think of it as a producing company where students just have to come to us and say, this is something I would like to do. This is something I would like to present. And then we just figure out how we can end up presenting that thing. Yeah. So if it's choreography, either fight or dance, if it's spoken word poetry, if it's music, either in composition, a band, like a jazz band, or, a solo act, we would present that in some way.
Yeah.
And we're still talking about it. It's still in the works. I got to meet with Ryan at some point today. I think it's at 1 p.m. But that might be for advising. Anyways, we're talking about the Wits performance because there's going to be a film festival on Symposium Day, which is April 29th. And that will be going from 6:30 p.m. to 9:30 p.m., most likely. Yeah. And so...
And that'll be the student-directed films from not just this year, but also last year?
Yes, from 2025 and 2026.
Yeah.
Those 2 school years. And I guess maybe dipping into 2024 a little bit, but 2025 to 2026, definitely. And there will be some, at least, we'll see, there will be a University Wits either before that or during that as well, with written pieces and... some music.
Yeah. And I also remember that you had a role as a detective in one. Was that Arabella's film?
Yes, that was Arabella's film. I've been a detective twice, so it's a little confusing, but one was just a play, but one was, that was Sesame Life on the Street.
Yeah, I have been waiting to see this for over a year now. I heard the concept, and I remember the auditions, and I'm like, that looks really fun. And there was a teaser last year.
Oh, right.
But I haven't been able to see the full thing yet, and I'm really excited for that.
Yeah. April 29th. We'll show it. I'll be the MC, so you'll be able to hear my sweet, succulent voice.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Overall, what has it been like for you as a soon-to-be graduate? What has it been like as an NWU student? How do you think you've grown and changed throughout the years?
I think when I first started college, I was really unsure of what I wanted to do. And it still takes some deciding because there's a lot of things you can do with theater, but mainly doing theater. But I'm interested in many things. I have two minors in writing and philosophy and religion, and I hope to continue my education with that. But I'm also thinking about law school, and so I don't know. Through a liberal arts college like Nebraska Wesleyan, you have to experience so much. You have to take so many different classes, not just in the discipline you may be majoring in. And so I think with that, you become interested in so many things, which is great and which happened to me. And so I think I've just grown in that there are so many paths I want to go down that I just need to figure out which one I really want to dedicate myself to. Where instead, when I was a freshman, I was just kind of like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I'll just do something, soon after I found out what I wanted to do.
Yeah. Well, yeah, thank you so much for coming and talking.
Oh, thank you, Bobby.
Yeah. That was Ben Arnez, BFA Directing. Coming up this week in the department, A Midsummer Night's Dream will reopen. Come see us April 9th through 11th at 7:30 or April 12th at 2 o'clock to help us close out our wonderful show. Big thanks to Kevin McLeod from Incompetech for letting us use his piece Dreamer, licensed under Creative Commons by Attribution 4.0 license. Thank you so much for listening, and we hope to see you next week.